it will get better.
Wow.
They won't bring me to tears. Wow. As a student, coming here, dealing with racism, dealing with being different. I came to study chemistry. I'm a chemist. I didn't come to do like a teacher or
Yeah.
nursing where you had more.
A bit more diversity.
Echt niet.
None at all.
Echt niet.
Yeah.
I was like a unicorn. I was a unicorn.
Yeah.
Ik was een uitzondering op de regel. You
And
understand?
it's like this not supposed to exist.
Yeah. Yeah. Not for me because
People, welcome to the SunSide Kingdom Show, the place where we highlight individuals with, so important skills, such important impact, people that just make the difference in their communities, especially those from the Dutch Caribbean, because that's what we're here for. Welcome, welcome. Today we have with us, a very interesting lady.
oh Lord.
So, today we have the immense pleasure of welcoming Shirma Rouse, a dynamic singer, songwriter, and performer known for her soulful voice and powerful stage presence. Born on the island of Curacao, that's correct?
Yes, definitely.
All right. With deep connections to Sint Eustatius, she has worked with top artists like Anouk, Treintje Oosterhuis, and gained international recognition during Anouk's Eurovision 2013 performance. Shirma made waves on The Voice of Holland, released several acclaimed solo albums, and even topped the Dutch charts. But she's not just a singer. She's an author of 2 cookbooks, which are amazing, if I might add.
Thank you.
That celebrate her Caribbean roots. She has her own TV show, Shirma's Soul Food, and this year she's launched her first series, Shirma's Caribische Smaken. Her influence extends beyond music, movies, and television as she inspires and uplifts others by promoting culture and the arts. We are beyond excited to have her.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for coming all the way down from the Randstad
Hey.
to below the rivieren to
Maar
chill
over de
with
gekste.
us here for this coming hour. People, welcome to the SunSide Kingdom Show. Welcome, Shirma.
Thank you. What a welcome. I love it. Appreciate it. Nice to be here.
Thank you. So, you're multi-talented, entrepreneurial. We just had a nice little conversation before we got started. But can you tell us a bit about what keeps you busy today in 2024?
Well, you said I'm an artist. I cook as well, and I think the most important thing right now, the shift that I'm going through, is trying to create things that will long term create wealth. So of course I'm busy with music and concerts and touring, but also trying to create partnerships, or like I wear glasses are one of my things.
Yeah. One of the things that you're known for.
Yes.
Because I always see you with the freshest, most exquisite style glasses.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
That's why I had to pull out my nice shades today.
I see the kazal. I see it. So before, for example, like looking at new business models, like creating my own glasses line, different things. So my focus is now, I've been a singer for a very long time. I've made a lot of music. I've traveled the world through music. So now it's time to go to the other side of business.
Yeah.
And that is get into creating products that are associated with my brand. Because I see myself as a product, not just, I'm not a singer, I'm not a cook, I'm Shirma. And that thing, I can market it.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that.
So working on productizing certain elements of your
myself.
personal brand.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So we touched on a few of those accomplishments, but I know there's many more that I haven't even mentioned here. Is there anything specific as you sort of look back on your career in general that you would say was one of the biggest highlights?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many.
Let's pick three.
Okay. Well, I think the latest one that I did was a tour with an orchestra that I produced myself.
Oh wow,
So I had 54 people on stage.
54.
Yeah.
Damn.
With me. And that was a big investment because, you have a dream, a vision, and you know that you will sell tickets, but you don't know how many, and you
Yeah.
have big venues. So that was a investment in so that was amazing because it was very successful. It was sold out. So that was like, wow, I did that.
Yeah, amazing.
It was really amazing. And before that, I think writing my first cookbook. I've been cooking for a long time. Food is a part of our culture. It's a
100%.
big part of our culture. But I think as the Dutch Antilles, that Netherlands has no idea about our cuisine, our
True.
kitchens. So I really wanted to write a book to show, to exhibit
Yeah.
our culture.
Yeah.
And so I was really glad when the first one came on the market, and it was like people loved it. So then I did part 2. But the first one was like really something special.
Yeah.
And I think the third one was a longer time ago, like 15 years ago when I released my first record. Next year is 15 years since I
Wow.
released my first record. And I financed it myself. I had 15 musicians playing strings and horns. And that was a big accomplishment, something that I will never forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because so let's maybe go back to that moment. So how was that process? So when did it click in your mind that I'm going to finance this myself?
Well, it's like sometimes, like sometimes some people dream, right? They have a vision and they dream. Me, I do. So I don't wait
Yeah.
because I'm always busy with creating like a buffer. So I'm always busy saving and putting money aside. So when this came to me, I could just step because I didn't have to worry about finding the money to do it.
Yeah.
Because I had it. So then I could just do. So when I decided, I was doing my last year of conservatorium. I studied in Rotterdam, and as a last year, you could do an album. I chose to do an album as a project.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But then it was just to perform it, to write songs and perform. Then I was like, well, if I'm writing the songs, I might as well record the songs.
The songs, indeed.
And so it developed.
Yeah.
But it was very natural. It wasn't like, somebody discovered me. No, I was touring and traveling the world with other people, being a backing vocalist.
So which people?
Different people. From Tasha's World. A lot of artists at the beginning of the 2000s that were like doing really well. But I played with a lot of famous people: Shaka Khan, Michael Bolton. I had the opportunity to do backing vocals for so many people. And here in the Netherlands, for sure, a lot of the artists, a lot of records, a lot of albums, a lot of top 40 singles for other people. I did a lot of different things.
Oh, you did a lot of backing vocals on those as well?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
A lot of records.
Yeah.
So I was already making music, but then I thought it was time for my story.
Yeah.
When I did the N exam project. And that's how it developed. But it was very natural.
Yeah. Because at that point, how long had you already been touring and working with other people? Because this is now 2009, right? So
yeah. So then I was like, well, I came to live in the Netherlands in 99. And by 99 December, I was already playing in bands. Like Candy Doll for so many different people. It's like you would have to Google it to take a look. It's too many different things. I did a lot of different things, like tribute to Bob Marley with reggae. We toured in Africa. We've been all over the place. I've been to like 15 countries in Africa.
Oh, wow.
Asia, Japan, my own music. South Korea. I was in China 2 weeks ago. So it's
And China, that was also touring, or
yeah, yes,
oh,
yes.
nice.
3 shows, three concerts in 6 days. So it's music was always something that I started I was doing as soon as I got to the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And before that, in the Caribbean, a lot of the calypso and soca artists. My dad was a musician, so I did a lot of backing vocals even then. And I grew
Yeah.
up in church. You sing in church, you sing the gospel. So
Because I
music,
was about to ask, so where did the music actually start?
Church.
In church.
100%.
I think that is how do you say it? It's the
beginning for most singers,
acceptance criteria for actually being a soul singer. Like
or being a singer. I think. I think it's in general.
like
is,
like really true great vocalists, they always started in church.
church, definitely.
If we go back to now that moment in 2009, and you unpack that a little bit more. So you said you financed the project. It was a very special moment for you, and what specifically about it 15 years later is still ringing as sort of this turning point, defining moment?
I think it was the start of me becoming the Shirma that people see today. You know what I mean? Because when you put out your own music, you're like vulnerable because you're putting out your own story.
Yeah.
And I think it gave me like a boost towards doing more for myself, to choosing myself and putting myself first. Because as a musician in a band, you're very invested in making sure that the person you're working for, that they can fly.
Yeah.
Because you're a part of the bed, the carpet that they're like floating on.
Yeah.
And so that's my nature. I love to uplift people. I love to like be a support that if you look back, you see me smiling, focusing on you.
Yeah.
And I think it's the start of me learning to be that for myself,
Yeah.
when I did my first record.
Because essentially it was from 99 to 2009. So the first 10 years, you supported so many people.
And even after, because
Yeah.
even though I recorded and released an album, I still was doing backing vocal work. I did it up until like 2014.
Okay.
And then
So another 5 years after.
Yes, because
Yeah.
it's also hard to, sometimes, when change, you have to make a change. Change takes time because
It takes time, indeed.
as a solo artist, you start to invest more. But being a backing vocal, I was making an amazing living. Amazing. So you have to see it like this.
Yeah.
You're a ZZ payer.
Yeah.
Just you are the only person that's necessary to make your business happen.
Yeah.
But the moment you become a BV, you have like 15, 20 people that need something from you. You need to have like a totally different mindset.
Yep. You need to
more,
evolve into a whole different person.
Yeah, but also,
and it takes time.
Whoa. But also have like more financial stability.
Yeah.
To be able to be flexible enough that if something happens, that you have the financial power to take care of it.
Yeah.
Like COVID.
Yeah.
COVID came. My agenda was full. I had tours lined up, concerts, and then all of a sudden, that all fell away.
Gone.
And I have 8 musicians, light, sound, all of these people that are
dependent on.
Yeah, but they are, ZZP. What's ZZP for English again?
Independent contractors.
Independent contractors. So I didn't have any obligation.
Yeah.
In the sense of they send me an invoice and I pay.
Yeah.
So if there's no work, there's no invoice. But emotionally,
yeah,
and you feel very responsible because these people commit themselves to you year in, year out. So I had to really think about creating different ways to keep them working. Then it's stressful.
Yeah.
Because then I have to also invest more. I felt like I had to, but that's the responsibility that I feel, and that's why they still work with me, because even in COVID, I tried to keep them working. Like 3 of the 4 musicians have a normal job on the side, but my guitar player, for example, he only plays music. So,
Okay.
like for example, I took him on more gigs, like smaller things, because I didn't have to, but I did it so because I know I felt the loyalty to, the commitment
Yeah.
to help. And that is a financial load that comes with risks. You know what I mean? So to make that step from being a set payer and independent contractor to NV or BV or whichever you want to call it, rechtsvorm, took some time.
Yeah.
Because I had to really create a healthy financial, like, vang net
Yeah.
to be able to make that choice.
Understood.
Yeah.
So if we now go way back, we go way back to little Shirma.
Oh boy.
So little Shirma was born in Curacao,
Yeah.
and you stayed there till what age?
Not maybe just 1, and then my mom and dad moved back to Statia, where they're from,
Okay.
Sint Eustatius.
So then you mainly grew up on Statia.
Till I was 16. Yeah.
Okay. So what was life like on Statia growing up?
Amazing. The safety and the freedom that I have experienced as a child is, you can't buy it.
Yeah.
It's onbetaalbaar. It's that you're in a community where if you're walking, heading to town, anybody that passes and sees you, hey, where you going? Let me give you a ride.
Yeah.
Or you go to school, after school, you go to grandma's house. There's a grandma to choose from who you want to go, or to an auntie. You didn't lock the doors. At night, you could go to sleep and not worry about somebody breaking into your house.
Yeah.
We were 10 minutes from the beach. You could swim. My dad took us to swim almost every day.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Golden.
yeah, it was idealistic. It was unbelievable. And I think coming from such a small community and then coming into the world where I'm living right now, I think that a lot of the normen en waarden that
So the values.
all the values that I carry with me were born on that island, on that small, safe community. The work ethic in how I do what I do.
So where would you say the work ethic specifically came from?
My mother and my father. They were people, when we were kids, we didn't, we were focused on doing our best in school. You watched National Geographic, Discovery Channel, CNN. You were outside playing, but you weren't. You were reading a book.
Yeah.
It was a different focus, because they understood that education was very important.
Yeah.
They understood that investing in society is very important. My mom gave a lot of kids like bijles, tutoring.
Yeah, tutoring.
We always had classmates and kids that would come to our house. That my mom.
Because what does your mom do specifically?
My mom is a medical analyst.
Okay.
So she was chemistry, physics, mathematics. She was really good.
Yeah.
In those subjects. So she did a lot of like extra teaching at home. Kids would always come that had problems with subjects that she would help.
Yeah.
So, or working with the auxiliary home with the old folks.
Yeah.
Spending time, always giving back something. And I think seeing those things have formed who I am today. I do a lot for charity. I think it's very important. A lot for children. A lot for
because you mentioned earlier, before we started recording, some of the charities specifically. Could you maybe touch on that a bit and expand on that?
Sure, I do. I'm ambassador for a charity that's called Hartekind, for example. and it's a charity that focuses on um, collecting money for research pertaining to children that are born with heart defects.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And children born with a heart defect is the biggest has the biggest mortality rate of children in this country. So it's even more than cancer in children.
Oh, wow.
But it's something that
Something I didn't even
a
know.
lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
Because praise God, you have healthy children. But it's a lot of people. Every year, 1,500 children are born, at least with a heart deficiency.
Here in the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's a lot of children.
Yeah.
So it's like 3, 4, 5 a day are born that have serious heart issues. And so, you have the Heart Stichting, the Heart Foundation, but they focus on grown people.
On the adults, yeah.
But we focus on children. And it started because someone had a child that was born with a heart, and he was like, what can we do?
Yeah.
So I've been doing that for 8 years now.
Oh, nice.
And another one is called Stichting Douchi.
Stichting Douchi. Douchi, you.
Yeah, but it's special because it's a foundation that focuses on children that have had more than one, that have in Dutch you say hechtingsproblematiek. Children that have issues with connecting because they've had several foster homes or very dangerous situations. So
Yeah.
we have 6 houses here in the Netherlands where we, take care of. Each house has at least about 10 kids that live with us, and we take care of them.
Oh, wow.
And
But this is a foundation that you're like
ambassador as well.
ambassador of. Okay.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah.
Yes. So I invest. I try to create connections at companies that want to sponsor or do different things for the stichting, or workshops or nice things for the kids.
Yeah.
That they can go on holiday. Like we took 5 of our kids 2 years ago to Suriname.
Oh, wow.
Took them back to their roots because we have children from all several different kinds of denominations. Not only Dutch children, but Curacao, Suriname, Moroccan, Chinese, and we try to keep brothers and sisters together. So it's very beautiful, and it's something that's very necessary because there's a lot of children that didn't have the youth that I had.
Yeah.
So for me, that's something very important to invest in that doelgroep of children. So I do that. I've been doing that for 14 years almost already.
Oh, wow.
So I do that, and then
So that started around the time of the first album.
a little bit after, right, yeah. But I've been doing, I'm a teacher as well. I've been teaching for a very long time.
What specifically?
Music.
Okay.
So Alberta College as an MBO, I taught for 8 years. So you come into a segment where you deal with children that need help, you see where they come from, and so for me, I've been always investing in the new generation. So teaching or coaching, studieloopbaanbegeleider, vertrouwenspersoon, different things, all things pertaining to children.
Yeah.
So that's the giving back side of what I do.
Yeah.
That's very important. I think that's for me very important.
Yeah.
If I would have the finances and the financial freedom to only do that, to be a beneficiary to certain things, that would be a goal.
That would be the dream.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Amazing. And so you mentioned your mom and dad as very important figures in your life that taught you many of these foundational things that formed you, the person that you are today. Were there any other specific role models, mentors that you had along the way that you would say really, gave you a couple golden nuggets and helped you to grow to that next level?
I think on different levels. You have, as a person, you have different facets, right? So as a human being, as a person, as een mens die me naast ze lief heeft, that's my parents, the basics.
Yeah.
But then you have my like my grandmothers, the love for God, music, came a lot also from seeing them do what they did. My grandmother was a Hammond organ player, and the other one was a singer in church.
Yeah.
Very inspiring to me
Yeah.
to see what they did to people. When people heard them play or sing, what it did,
Yeah.
that was like one of my earliest memories of, wow, I want to be a singer.
Oh,
you know?
amazing. So,
But-
because your mom didn't sing.
No. My dad is
both-
my dad is a
both-
musician,
Yeah. Okay.
and my mom could play some guitar, but the singers were my grandmothers.
So, and your dad's mom was the musician.
Yes,
She sang.
she played organ, and mom's mom was an amazing singer.
Oh, okay.
So music was on both sides.
It's on both sides.
Yeah. And my mom's dad was a saxophone player and steel pan player. So
Oh,
I have a lot of
nice.
music.
Yeah.
A lot of music in my family. Music and cooks,
So where did the cooks come from?
both sides.
Both sides.
Yeah.
So it was just destined that you had to sing and you had to cook.
This is it, 100%. As a musician, for example, I learned a lot from the artists that I toured with. Like a Candy Dolfer, for example.
Yeah.
She is amazing in showing how not only being professional, but also how you take care of your musicians, how you treat your people.
So that was part, some of those lessons is also what you took along and had to execute yourself during COVID, for instance.
Definitely. Or Anouk, she's also very focused on what her crowd experiences, when they come to a concert. I think that's amazing that you also focus on the experience of your public.
Yeah, which is super important.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't do it.
Yeah.
But I think it's amazing. And
that's how you actually create the repeat business that people would
keep
love
asking,
to
coming back.
Yeah.
So those little nuggets but also I've learned a lot of things of what not to do.
Could you don't have to call out any names of those persons, but could you give me some examples of
like to become an artist where your musicians don't even have a conversation with you.
Oh, wow.
That you don't even talk to anybody. You just come, you do your work, and you go back home.
So that's the Hollywood stuff.
No, well, that's closer than you think. Yeah, it's
Well, the Dutch version of Hollywood.
It's humbling.
What would we say that is?
Yeah. Hillyville. You got Hollywood and you got Hillyville.
Hillyville.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's about knowing what's for you and what's not for you.
Yeah.
In all facets of your life. I believe it.
And so we touched on the musician mentors, we touched on the family mentors and role models. On the business side, were there any specific ones?
My uncle.
Your uncle.
Woyo.
Tell me.
My uncle could sell a panty to the king. He had a gift, a natural. He had many baskets. Mm-hmm. So a car rental, MoneyGram. He was...
and this is all on Statia?
All on Statia. Mm-hmm. He was agent to the cruise ships and oil tankers that come to to tank the ships. Mm-hmm. This man, he had so much vision. He was a photographer. And it was somebody that didn't even finish 6th grade. Didn't finish the basic education.
Yeah.
But he was such a...
gifted,
a social power.
Yeah.
Was very inspiring. So as a kid, I always saw him creating something new. So I think that's part of my fire. Yeah. That I don't just do one thing. He always just say, well, he never said it, but he lived.
He lived it.
He lived
like an example.
He lived in a way that, that we have more than one gift.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we are so by our social surroundings, we can be forced to just see one thing, or we have to do that.
And society also kind of
But that's
tries
it's social society.
to force you into believing that you have to choose one
One
thing.
thing, and a lot of people go through life doing the same work for 45 years.
Yeah.
Doing the same work, the same routine. Like if the bus is 2 minutes late, they're like out of their,
Yeah.
element.
Toot, toot.
And I think that seeing him create so many different baskets of income really inspired me.
Because then when we translate this now to your own life, what are the different baskets that you have right now?
Oh yeah, several. I'm always busy creating baskets.
Because we know about the music,
Yes.
we've spoken about that.
Cookbooks.
The cookbooks. So then I guess we would tie the cookbook also to the TV show
Yes.
around that.
Yes. TV programs.
So that is Shirma the chef, Shirma the singer,
Shirma the teacher.
Shirma the teacher. You
Cool.
still teach?
Sometimes, but private lessons.
Okay, so Shirma the teacher.
Don't call because I have no time. Don't do it.
I already don't know how there's any time left with these three, but I know there's probably a fourth and a fifth.
Yeah.
So what is that fourth and fifth?
Then there's coach.
Coach, yeah.
Yes. So
And specifically?
like for example, you call me and say, "Hey, Shirma, this I'm at like a standstill, and you're a SSK payer, and you come to me with your whole like ideas, and then I'm good in analyzing a situation and seeing possibilities.
Yeah,
That's a gift.
yeah.
It's what it is, and I like to do that with like on the neighbors, with artists. Sometimes people that own restaurants or looking to change a vision. I do that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah.
So that's like the coaching, but also coaching in kids that have emotional difficulties. So then but that's more like a close network based on the stuff that I do with the charities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that as well. And I also do bedrijfscoaching. That's company coaching, but more based on management.
Okay.
So like, for example, you have a big company, you have like 18 managers on TFOs and this, and we do like a workshop with music and with a bit of ownership, like be realizing your position within the whole total and like to isolate yourself. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
But those things are specific, like they come through certain channel. It's not something that
you're actively marketing
that I
or
market.
pursuing, but when they come along, then
I do it.
The creative Santa P in you
Do it. I
is
do
like,
it.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Or even like the other side is also to presentation. Like if you have a big event, international, and you speak English or whatever language
Yeah.
or different cultures, I do a lot of that as well. But I'm also a curator. I've made museum, tentoonstellingen, several different things.
I mean, you're really a centipede. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but
a thousand.
that's what's coming in, like octopus, like. Yeah, I mean, I thought I dabble in a lot of different things, but that's a lot of different things. And there's also the investment side, right?
Yes, also.
Okay. Any stuff you want to touch on the investment side?
For me, the biggest and most important investment is anything that I can do for myself.
Okay.
Anything that is for example, even in where I live, how I live, that my home is situated in a way that I'm happy. That's for me, like that's investment pertaining to what I need, but investment in, for example, generational, that's like one of my biggest focuses, is creating a generational wealth that my nieces, their grandchildren won't have to work as hard as I worked. So it's not only the next generation, but the generations to come.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to create, and that I'm doing that in different ways. That is in vastgoed,
So real estate.
real estate.
Yeah.
I'm doing that also in literally saving. And I'm doing that also in spreading knowledge. So that not only that I will give them something, but they have the tools to make it even bigger.
Yeah. To do for themselves, for them
But to make also the investment that I make, the sacrifices that I make, that they can
they can capitalize on it and
multiply
catapult it, multiply
Yes,
it,
yes.
to the next level.
Yes. And I don't only do that for my sister's kids, but I do that for my friends' kids, for the next generation, that we create awareness with our children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so important because we were talking about it earlier, that is also something that is not as much spoken about or shared in our culture. I think in general in the world as it is today, it's not as shared as it should be, but definitely within our cultures, within our dynamics, it's not as strong.
And I think also that a lot of people that see artists, they see what you do on stage.
Yeah.
But they don't see, like, sometimes I feel like an iceberg, and the tip is what you see.
Yeah.
Right?
Indeed.
And under the water level, it goes on
Way deeper. So much more.
and so much broader and so much more draagkracht.
Yeah.
But you just see what I
The
want
tip
you,
of the iceberg.
what I want you to see,
Yeah.
because that's my action. But that's the uitwerking from my action. So the results is what you see.
Yeah.
But the steps that I have to take, how hard I have to climb, how fast and how much I have to carry,
Yeah.
is not visible. But I think that a lot of people underestimate what is necessary to be a product,
Yeah.
And not only as an artist, but as a designer, as a builder, as a stratenlegger. Whatever it is you do, that you have a gift that you share, a welder, or, my cousin, my mom's cousin, he does welding, but so specific that very few people can do it. So it's very specific.
Yeah.
And people just see the ships sailing by,
Yeah.
but not knowing the kind of work and quality and investment in studying knowledge is necessary to do the work so that that ship can sail.
Yeah.
And that's and nowadays, I think that a lot of people underestimate what is necessary to do a good thing.
Yeah. The type of work and dedication it takes to get to that level, to become that expert that can create things that just only few can.
Exactly.
Yeah. And again, I'm ping-ponging back to
Go
our
ahead.
earlier conversation, because that was a pretty interesting one. Earlier you were mentioning about one of your life philosophies of that you took some time to transition from allowing your cup to
Oh, yes.
leak from both ends, to flow out the top, but also to leak from the bottom, and that you had to make changes there. Could you maybe elaborate, expand on that a bit?
In general, and I think that's what I call a deficiency, and it's mostly, for me, it feels like a part of our culture, of the Black culture, the Caribbean culture, is that we grow up learning to take care of people around us. We learn to turn the other cheek. We learn to help.
Yeah.
Right? But if you take that character, that characteristic, and take it out of the controlled environment and bring
True.
it into the world,
Yeah.
it's something that it can work.
No.
Because 99% of the people around you don't have that same upbringing, don't have that same character
Yeah.
that was formed on that small island community.
And they will tend to take advantage of
They will let you
that.
pour without filling your cup ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I had to see that for me to be able to do for you, that's what I learned here, is that I have to do for myself first.
Yeah.
And so we didn't learn to be selfish. We learned to help.
Yeah.
But I think to be able to do for another, you have to do for yourself first.
Yeah.
So when I had the cup, it was like at 45 degrees. I was pouring, but there were holes in the bottom. So my cup was never full. It was like maybe on a slant.
Yeah.
Just a little bit was in the cup, until I decided to turn it straight up.
Straighten it up.
And put the titanium bottom. Titanium.
Titanium and cover up all the holes.
And then
started pouring in.
Then when it got full, my overflow is what I can let you catch.
Yeah.
And not everybody. I had to be actual discernment in who gets my overflow.
Yeah.
Because if you sow on unfertile ground, there's no return.
Preach.
You see what I'm saying? So if we plant seeds to harvest.
Yeah.
You don't plant seed for it to stay in the ground. You plant seed for it to multiply, right? But if we are like planting seeds, sowing seeds in ground that is not fruitful, we will never harvest. And you have to be aware discern what is fruitful.
Yeah.
And isolate loyalty, isolate, I know you for a long time. No, not because I know you, that means that I will sow in what you're doing.
Yeah.
No. I have to see that whatever I tell you, that you take it and you multiply it. If you don't multiply, I can't invest.
Yeah.
So that means that my overflow is not accessible. My access, my having more, doesn't mean that it's accessible to you.
Yeah.
So I had to learn that lesson.
So could you maybe pinpoint one of those moments and when you really learned that lesson?
It's big. Like, for example, sometimes we can work with people out of loyalty. So then you're pouring into them, but it's never enough.
Yeah.
They're never satisfied.
Yep.
And it's not reciprocated. It's not geven en nemen.
Yeah.
It's geven en krijgen. It's not a give and take. It's a give and receive.
Give and get.
Or receive.
Yeah.
You want to receive. But a lot of times we're giving because we're expecting it to come back. But most of the time when we do that, people that are not like-minded, that don't have the same upbringing, don't have the same ethics.
Yeah. Morals and values.
They will never be able to do that for you.
Yeah.
And so I had it in a lot of work settings with different musicians or whoever did, like a person that does I don't know, that did drive my car, or you invested in them, and when you need them, they're never there. Only when it suits their purpose. Small things.
Yeah.
But are very big things in a bigger picture. You know what I mean? Or people that you paid for every month for the 12 years for them to work for you, and then all of a sudden something goes wrong and that they cannot understand that, hey,
you ain't got it right now. Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
It's a simple examples. Or even that somebody, this is a nice one, that you always treat people well, always do good, and then they hear something and they don't come and ask you a question.
They just assume.
But also not being aware that, hey, you can trust that I will never do something to hurt you. So why would you take someone's word who has never done anything with you, but just put something on you to make trouble and not see it?
Yep.
And so on and so on and so on. And so then you have to, or sometimes you can see people doing certain things and you're like, no, but we're friends, they'll never do that to me. Those things are dangerous things.
Yeah.
And those are things that I had to learn so that my cup could be filled.
Yeah.
Because you can be friends with people, you can have personal or business relationships with people, but if you see them showing certain characteristics that might not sit right, but they didn't do it with you or to you, but don't underestimate that it can come right back around and bite you in the ass.
True.
And they can do the same thing that they've been doing to everybody else to you as soon as the shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
My grandmother said it the best. She said, Know your friends and treat them well. Never your friends your secret tell.
Oh.
For when your friends become your foe, around the world your shit will go.
Oh shit. That one we gotta write down.
Bro.
Thanks, Grandma.
Hey. I'm like, okay. But only now I understand.
Because I was just about to ask you, like, I sure Grandma told you this as a kid.
As a kid.
And it's so many years later that it really starts to click and be
so
like,
many years, decades later.
Decades later, Grandma.
Hey, if she was still alive, I would be telling her thanks every day. It's like a lot of generational wealth is also in lessons. And I mean, like me, I came to the Netherlands with 19 years old into a country where I spoke the language, but I didn't know the culture.
Yeah.
Was very lonely because you come into a place where there's nobody like you. There's other students that come, but they're suffering the same thing you're suffering.
Yeah.
So before you can make a connection, it takes months.
Yeah.
And I believe that knowing what I now know, I can tell my nieces, be prepared them even better for what it would be like. But my parents never studied in the Netherlands, so they had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they would have prepared us, you know? So it's also generational wisdom. It's not only financial generational wealth, but in knowledge.
Yeah.
In empowering our children, but also to know where you're from.
Super important.
To know that, I have a vision on slavery and on the mindset. Marcus Garvey said it. He says we have to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, for none but ourselves can free our mind. Bob Marley sang the song.
I just got goosebumps. It's one of my favorite Bob Marley songs.
Yeah, but it's
the Redemption
song.
But
it's a speech from Marcus Garvey.
The entire song?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a speech. So that's why if you listen to this, if you read the lyrics, you see that he's speaking live.
Yeah.
And it's because for us to grow as a people, but not only the black person that experienced racism, but the white person that is a part of the generation, is not saying that it wasn't there, but seeing that het heeft een uitwerking nu nog steeds. It's still visible.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that you did it. I'm just saying you're behaving from a place of having that freedom, and I'm behaving from a place of having no freedom.
Yeah.
And so that we have to teach our children to have a mindset to see that you can be anything you want to be.
Yeah.
You can be more than whatever anybody says about you. But that's the generational knowledge wealth that is also necessary.
100%.
It's a mindset shift. And that's the only reason that I can do what I'm doing, and that I can, have that financial freedom, is because I believe I can do anything.
Yeah. Because it all starts in the mind. If you don't believe you can, then you never will.
But that's
if you don't believe it's possible, then it won't be possible.
But I had parents that taught me that I could be anything.
God bless them.
Amen. But I know a lot of our kids today still struggle with, acceptance, or struggle with having the room to be more than what someone thinks they can be.
Yeah.
So that's also part of my, my hope for the future, so that there can be more Shirmas, more girls and boys that dare not only to dream but to do.
Yeah.
Because that they have the possibility to be a owner of a house and have a car and have nice things and have the possibility to leave their children set for life.
Yeah.
We have that possibility in us.
100%.
We have it. And it doesn't have to happen in one generation, but you can plant a seed and see it grow.
What they do in the cruise? They do the finger snapping.
Yeah.
Amazing. So maybe let's kind of continue in this pocket a little bit. with which particular facets do you think of your Caribbean upbringing has played a crucial positive role in growing your career?
Love. Liefde.
Yeah.
We are a culture that's very welcoming, very open. And I think that's something that has made room for me,
Yeah.
is that I'm accessible to people, but also the it's the gift. It's a gift also,
Yeah.
It's not mine. For me, it comes from a different source, and I learned about that source in that small community.
Yeah.
You grow up on an island where 90% of the people go to church, then you have no choice but to
But to learn.
to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's different than coming to live in the Netherlands, and most people have no faith.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't want it, but
They weren't really exposed to it.
exactly,
Yeah.
because a lot of things in religion here were, like put on you and you must. But at home we had a choice. But it was a choice, but it was like not a choice, but a choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you could be forced to go to church, but you didn't have to be, because you learned that it was something that's part of the culture. Like my niece this week, she's 6. My sister messaged me. She said she was walking with her to school, and she said, "Mama, Tante is not afraid to sing for people." She said, and she's not afraid to sing for God. So my sister said, like, what do you mean? Because she sings in church? She said, yeah, because God lives there, right? And I was like, that's so beautiful, because that she can already know
Yeah.
without having to be forced.
And without someone explaining to her.
She thinks about it.
Yeah.
And I think it's so beautiful, because you want to be that kind of example. And I think that's what we had at home.
Yeah.
As growing up, it wasn't like a must. God was like a part of our existence. And I think without being an entrepreneur, being an artist, I cannot claim anything without acknowledging liefde. And for me, that's God in my life.
Yeah.
I can't.
Preach.
It's not by my own, but by His,
Yeah.
the facts. Facts.
Facts. Hard facts.
Facts.
So let's rewind the clock one more time.
Boy, you going back? How long we talking here already?
This might be the last one. If
We could talk for hours.
I know,
right?
I know
Okay.
we can. I know we can. So we hopefully we're gonna continue some conversations.
You guys
beyond
getting
this
like
point.
an hour, but we've been talking for 2 hours already. Okay.
But looking back to, let's say, 18, 19-year-old Shirma.
Yeah.
Right? Because 19-year-old Shirma is the one that moved to the Netherlands and got a bit of the culture shock and had to sort of refigure out what life is for her from that point on. The Shirma of today, what advice would you give that 19-year-old girl?
Boy, that's a really good question. I think the only thing I would say is it will get better.
It will get better.
It will get better.
Have faith, it will
Wow.
get better.
That touched myself. Wow. It will get better.
Wow.
Wow.
That one just gave me goosebumps.
So that one bring me to tears. Wow. Sometimes, as a student coming here, dealing with racism, dealing with being different. I came to study chemistry. I'm a chemist. So I came to study in a very white opleiding. I didn't come to do like a teacher or nursing where you had more
A bit more diversity. None at all.
Echt niet.
Yeah.
So you gotta feel like, you know, I felt like niet een lelijke eend. I was like a unicorn. I was a unicorn.
Yeah.
Ik was een uitzondering op de regel. You
And it's
understand?
like this not supposed to exist.
Yeah. Yeah. Not for me, because mijn liefde voor
Because a
de...
unicorn is beautiful. It's
Yes.
majestic. So you know your background already taught you you're
Ik ken
beautiful
mijn waarde.
and majestic.
Ik ken
you know
mijn
your
waarde.
value.
Yes.
But
But to come into a situation where a unicorn is not normal,
yeah.
of anders, was best wel heftig. You know, it was very lonely. Very lonely. And so I would just say, it's gonna get better.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that one. But
Me neither.
beautiful.
Me either, but you ask the questions, you get the answer.
So any final thoughts or words for our audience?
Well, if it's pertaining to achieving your goals, I would say there are 4 things that for me have always been very important. Is, to be the best in the room. And being the best in the room is not meaning, that you are better than anybody else, but to be your best self. To be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
At all times.
Yeah.
And number 2 is have social skills. Don't let your worries, your energy be the thing that shifts the room. Let it be something positive.
That uplifts the room.
Uplifting, something that you bring that inspires. Be an inspiration.
Yeah.
Number 3 is time. Be on time. Be on time. Because people don't wait on me. I hate it. So it's important because time is money.
Yeah.
Time is money. And number 4, never stop learning.
Oh yeah.
Never stop learning.
100%.
Be aware that it's never done.
Yeah.
So keep honing your skill. Keep looking for things to add on to what you have to offer. Those 4 things have brought me this far.
Beautiful.
That's it.
I think with that we can wrap a nice bow tie on this one. Oh, Shirma, thank you very, very much.
My pleasure, John. My pleasure.
For coming down all this way and spending this time with us here.
Not a problem. Thank you.
I had an amazing time. It's been a very inspirational conversation.
Thank you. You too.
Even a part emotional roller coaster towards the end, but I fully get it because it's when you make that shift, it can feel so dark and lonely at times.
100%. But I also believe that we need to
speak about this more.
100%, but also, be aware that not all bad things that happen to us will turn out bad. Sometimes it's for your good.
Yeah.
Like, I always say David needed Goliath to become a king.
True.
So we need to have schuringen, we need to have bad days to have good days.
Yeah.
And
you need to have those bad days to even understand what a good day is.
So that's the thing, it will get better.
Thanks again.
Welcome.
And with that one, we're signing out. Like, subscribe, leave some comments. If I forgot to ask Miss Shirma any amazing questions, then please let me know. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you. Bless.